What's going on, guys? You got Kwasi here for Kwasi Media and Kwasi Animation. I'm going to do some work, so I want you guys to come hang out with me. I'm going to, excuse me, set up my extras, which are the extra characters. I'm going to get there. They're going to have animations, and I'm going to set up the first shot for a teaser and or trailer for the Kalita Unchained movie. So this is what this is for. Of course, you most likely saw the title and the thumbnail, but nonetheless, that's what's happening now. So I have a lot more assets to add to this because I kind of want to add like a bunch of like more poles, because again, this is going to be part of the scene. What you're seeing around the edges is the that was supposed to be for the volume or fog, whatnot. So yeah, but yeah. So outside of that, right now I know I need to add some more light poles, and I'm not really sure what else, but I know for a fact that I have to add one of the extras. They're going to be walking down this sidewalk this way. Another guy is going to be standing next to this pole, and then of course Kalita will be right here, and the shop owner. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out exactly how I want this to want to set everything up. So yeah, so just go along with me and go from there, and I'll probably make this a semi-series. But yeah, nonetheless, that's what I was thinking. I definitely, like I said, definitely need to add more assets. I want to add some more lights back here. Probably give these two buildings a courtyard, so there'd be something to kind of play off of back there. And I have to make an effect for the other for the antagonist character that's going to enter into the scene. So basically, what I'm going to be doing is putting the extras in, the main character and the protagonist. So yeah, just to kind of set the first shot up. So I'm not really sure if this is going to be my camera angle, but I know I want the camera because the characters aren't going to be saying anything. So let's go in here real quick. I'm gonna shoot it. No, I want to be in here. So what I'm thinking is the camera can be like something like this, right? So let me come in here, pull back some. I think this is too close. Give me a 35. All right, so yeah, I still feel like this is too small. Let me see if this has changed. No, that's fine. Okay, maybe do a 25 millimeter. 35 should be okay. I mean, because if I do 50, it's gonna pull stuff too close, and I don't want that close. So 35 is fine. See what 8 does. And I know 8 is just weird because it's, yeah, like I don't want an 8, 16, no, 35. So okay. Matter of fact, go 32. Yeah, I can deal with that. All right. So yeah, because Kalita will be like right here. So I have Kalita right here, and then yeah. So let me set this shot up. So that's camera 1. Let me rename that to 1.1, and I'll duplicate that camera because I want the same actions. I'm gonna call it .2, and I'm gonna set it back to the center space. All right, so click this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop Kalita in here real quick. See where the arrow is. All right, so let me go to Kalita. We're already in the folder, model files, Kalita, and I'm going to use her IK rig because, matter of fact, let me go to that to make sure her IK rig is set up properly because I don't want it to come in wrong. I need to be in total FK. So yeah, it's already in FK. Yeah, FK. All right, cool. All right, so now let me drop back into here, and then I'm gonna drop her in append. I always append, and I only do that because linking uses whatever you have set up, and I don't have anything set up for that right now, so I don't want to use the link. All right, so let me turn this off because we don't need it. This can come back up here. Okay, you tripping. All right. We got Kalita. We go above. Oh man. Hi. Okay. Select. Okay. G. All right, so right there, and I know I'm going to have to bring her down. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely going to come down. Has to come down. All right, and then we're gonna I'm gonna come over here in 180 degree. Alrighty then. Oh man. Let's see if she's in the shot. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, cool. Okay, so now the next part is to look at my pose library, see if I have one. I do not. I'm going to bring in pose library. That's not what I want. Come here, go there. Actions, and I want FK only. Boom. Gonna save it, lock it in, because I just want the rest pose. Because again, like I said, there won't be any conversations or talk, so yeah. And she's gonna be getting animation. I just want them in the rest pose. I don't want them in that other pose. Okay, so close her. Gonna add the shopkeep. No, gotta come back in here. All right. Extras and the shop owner. I hope he's already set up. That would really upset me if he isn't. Yes, he is. Mr. Tran. All right. Mr. Tran has been input. I don't think I need this second one, do I? I don't need this backup. I know that. Delete that. Grab this. Boom. Okay. So, yep. All right. Go above. Come on, mouse. Golly. G, and we're going to move him inside of the shop. Again, I know I'm going to have to structure him a little bit. I always turn their hair and stuff off because when that particle system's on, oh, it slugs and it lags so hard. Okay, because they're going to be talking and whatnot, and I think I want to add a bowl to right here because she eats the noodles and whatnot, so that means I have to make some chopsticks, which is fine, and I'll make them in another scene. I don't want them to be in this scene. Let me see. Let me push hers down because I think that needs to be closed also. Yeah. All right. So yeah. I think I'll have him closer to the table and have him slightly turn towards her. All right, and then turn her towards him. Yeah. So in the shot. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. And I'll take one of these bowls and I'm going to, do I want a shift D or alt D? This shift D. This is make it a whole separate object. I think that's Y. Yeah, Y. Okay. Come out, go to the bowl.
Battlefield instrumentals.
Yeah. So I don't want chopsticks to be directly on in here, so I'm going to create and do it as a separate object. But let me check and see in my assets, do I have anything for that? I don't think I have the shop separate. I do not. It's in the downtown scene. No, it's in the sci-fi scene, which is not here. Okay. Cyberpunk scene I did. This is where the noodle shop comes from. Oh man, I'm trying to think. Do I create something for this? Because I thought I had for general objects. Or is that here? General assets. Where is it? Jump. Nope. Nope. Miscellaneous. No. Trying to figure out which one I want to do. Which do I want to do? Matter of fact, let's just create one for extra objects. So let's just go extra objects. Come on, man. It's like I just cannot type today. All right, extra objects, and then I'm just gonna just give it a random one, and it'll just be, oh, that says open. Let me cancel that. Okay, so I want to do new because I'm going to, excuse me, just gonna call it Miss Objects. let's hit save, go to assets, and it'll be extra objects. And I'll name this miscellaneous objects. Oh man, I just cannot type today. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to pick cylinder. I'm gonna rotate. Going to keep that rotation and add the transform tool. And let's go down here, smooth it out. All right. So now I'm gonna hit shift, scale, shift Y. I'm gonna zoom in a little tighter. These are gonna be gigantic compared to what I need them to be, so that means I'm gonna have to make them smaller for the scene. But nonetheless, matter of fact, let me bump that size back up. I'm going to use this, like I'm going to make it, okay. I'll make the object now. This way it makes it easier on me later when I want to, when I scale it down. Okay, so I'm gonna poke this down a little bit, push that down some, and push this down some. So I know clearly that it's not gonna be small enough. All right, and then for the sake of it, I'm going to add some cuts there. I mean, not cuts. Oh my goodness, I can't even talk today. All right, I'll bring this down some, grab this, and we're gonna make this small, scale it down. All right, so yeah. All right, so I'm gonna add a loop cut here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in, hit F3, and then I'm going to Alt E along normals. Matter of fact, that didn't go properly. So let me make sure that this is scaled. So I know the scale needs to change. All right, Alt E, there we go. See that? Make sure that your scale is always applied. This way things won't be skewed later on.
Battlefield instrumentals.
All right, so right then when I made that smaller, all I did was, excuse me, hit anytime you're scaling, you hit S and then you hit Shift Y, X, or Z, and it'll change the bevel. Not bevel. It'll change the direction if you want to do it. It'll help with the direction. So like say for instance I want to scale this up on the Y, but I want this to get thicker. I'll hit S and then I'll hit Shift Y and it'll start to get thicker in that space. Alright, so that's what we're going to use for that. Looks kind of like a pencil, huh? Alright, so now let's smallerize it a little bit more. Make it a little bit smaller. Alright, let's look at its scale. I'm just say 0.03. I feel like it's still too thick though, so I'm gonna scale it down some more on that. So for this I'll do 0.02, and with the X should be 0.03. No, it'd be 0.02 also. All right, there we go. Cure. Just call it chopstick. And then the chopstick will be its own thing, and then we can hide it. So that means I can duplicate it, but I'm not going to duplicate it just yet. I feel like the tip is too thin. I'm gonna come in F4, I mean not F4, Z4, and scale this up some. Because they're not completely round at the tip, but I do want to break this a little bit. There we go. I mean flat at the tip. There we go, that's a little bit better. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, that's better. Excuse me. Yeah, I can deal with that. All right, so I'm going to apply the scale for the sake of what I said a little while ago, and then let's go back to our scene. Now, understand that this location that's popping up on the screen is the actual location. Is an actual location that will be in the movie. So this is not going to be one of those moments where it's like, oh, let me tease it, and then it's not actually in the movie. Okay, so a miscellaneous object, and I'm going to append, and it'll be one of the assets, extra objects, miscellaneous, and we're going to import mesh, which is the cylinder. I need to go rename that, Okay, so let me click it. I'm going to rename this to Chopstick and rename it underneath its actual object data property. And why I'm doing that is because why I would do that is so that that property works. Let me make sure this is all right. Cool. There we go. So I want to make sure that that property, so that it'll read it. I'm sorry, I can't. Man, y'all had to y'all had to forgive me, man. I'm legit like not having a good talk day for some reason. All right. Okay. Bring this up some. Let's go local. And then I'm going to use an array because I'm not going to be using these. They will not be, not an array, yes, an array. I'm sorry. Why did I pick mirror? Use an array, and that should be good enough. That's good enough for me. Alrighty then. So yeah. Okay, so that array is set. We have a chopsticks in the scene, which still says cylinder 9 for some reason. Alright. So yeah, if I change the name of it, and let's go do that now. Let me go do that now. I come up here and go to object products. I just go chopstick, and oh, it needs it. All right, and then it's done. So yeah, all right. So these things are set up. Let me get Mr. Tran. Well, he said already because I forgot I'd already put a pose library on. I mean, not a pose library. Did I use a pose library for him? Well, I know I had already set him to be in a rest pose, but he's gonna have an animation also. So let me close this. Okay, now for the sake of the camera, I'm gonna go ahead and give them their animations. So I'm gonna bring their animations in and go to where they are. I always say create an a separate Blender file that holds the same, that has a model in it that has the exact same rig and bone set and armature, and then create and build animations there and then input them into the scene. When you're doing something as heavy as this, it's fine, do not get me wrong, it's fine to animate in scene because I will be doing some of that, but it has to be very small things. So each animation that you're going to see right now is only going to be for the shot. So once I set up the shots, and I'll go into the animation tab for that in a little bit, but every time I set up a shot, that's what it's going to be for. I'll use the animation specifically for a shot. This is wrong. This is supposed to be the dope sheet. All right, now I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna click this for him, and he automatically goes into that pose for that animation. So I know I want him to be turned a little bit more towards her. Make sure he didn't bleed through the floor or whatnot. He's probably above it now. No, he isn't. Okay, he's good. All right. I still don't get why that foot is sideways. I swear, but then I fixed that. All right, so I'm gonna face him a little bit more towards her, because from here I can tell he's definitely not facing her. All right, so I want him to be facing her. All right, let's see what the animation looks like on playback. It's probably gonna get horrible playback. All right, so since I'm getting horrible playback, let me see. No, I want it on sync, but I want this to follow also. Okay, so I want it on sync. I would do it no sync because it'll make it go frame by frame, but I don't want that because it's gonna lag. And the reason why it's so slow is because of these characters. I'm not gonna BS about it. And the thing is they have no subdivision surface on them. So even if I click their frame and I go over here to modifiers and let's toggle it, the only things that are coming up that are like really showing is like these are turned off, right? So the things that are showing up, I'm sorry, oh man, I can't think of words. The things that you would need to see, the modifier you need to see, I'm sorry, will be subdivision surface. So even if I came over here and went simplify and turned it off, it would not make this move smoother. So it gives no, because if I turn this back on, I'm still getting like 6 frames. So it wouldn't change any of that. Okay. All right. So I can turn that back off because that's not changing anything. These characters, they're just high fidelity characters. Really nothing I can do about it to bring. I can't really beef it up. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean I can't do this. Now I can come over here and click city parts and turn all this off, including that, and I can probably get a few more frames out of it, but not by much, because there's still a lot of things in the scene. Like for instance, okay, the fog is turned off, so I'll turn it off completely. I turn the lighting off completely. And we're just left with these two characters, and guess what? I still get 4 frames a second. So all of those things are off, and I still get 4 to 5, maybe 7 frames a second. So yeah. But luckily for me, the animation's already been pre-done, so I might as well just leave all this stuff up so that I can just see the playback and not be bothered with trying to teeter-totter with it. All right, so let me see what we got now. Make sure his hand isn't going through the table when he does that. So I'll push this up because I want to be able to control it by hand. No, he's good. Yeah. All right. So let's come back into the camera. Because now this is the thing. Even though he's not saying anything and I don't have any mouth on him, I'm probably going to give him a mouth animation. So I'll go to his scene again. I'll go to his scene and go create one, because it's so this way that my workspace isn't overly isn't filled with a lot of extra stuff. So that's what I'm starting to do as a workflow is create. Let me make sure these chopsticks go to miscellaneous chopsticks. Oh, okay. Because I don't know why I felt like it didn't have the array on it. All right. So this way that I'm not bogging down my system even more. Because right now, my memory is only running at 690 megs. And the VRAM is at 0.3. So that means it's only around about 300 megabytes itself. So it's pretty low. That's why I have it on sync so that it just do what it's doing. But I'll probably give him a voiceover. And it'll just be something random. But we're not going to hear it. Because the point of this is for you to get the feel of the scene. So chances are I'm setting this up as a shot, but what I'd likely do is start from back here and make my way in, where you see certain things, like they'll probably be sitting still, and then I'll make my way into the shot. Check my time, 20 minutes. All right. So yeah, so that's what I was thinking about doing there. Other than that, that's it. Ooh, this is too far down. How did it get so low? Oh, go back. You just gonna take your time, huh? All right. It's just supposed to be above it, not on it. All right. I don't know how that happened. All right. So yeah. So she has a bowl. And I need to add more things to this scene also, because I want stuff like hanging from the ceiling, like pots and stuff like that. Maybe over here somewhere. What in the world? Oh, that's from this. That's from this right here. Never mind. Okay. So that may need to get smaller. All right. All right, cool. So yeah. Turn all this back on. Okay. So he's supposed to be in extras. Let me close Mr. Tran. I'm gonna move him to extras. All right. But that also means that if I turn everything else off, he's going to turn off also, which is bad, but yeah. Click the camera. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. That's what I'm thinking about, is pulling this back some, so this way that the characters that, I'm sorry. Ah, man, I can't talk today. Pull back some and you just see them talking, but it's going to pan across, or I probably just leave like this right here and you just see them talking, and it'll just be it'll start a little bit further in. I don't have a point of rotation. Let me find one. All right. So an orbiting point. So right here, they'd be talking, and as it pans out, you'll see the guy, like it'll start here and it'll pan out, and you'll see the car, and then you'll see the people, and then the thing that I want to happen. So what I'm thinking is start here. Right. Because I want the car to pass by, but I'm thinking the car needs to be further back also. So let me go to vehicles. Just click the Bugatti. It is not clickable. Okay. Click the Bugatti. And we'll pull it back some more. Because I wanted to move pretty swiftly. I'm going to animate it with a This will be simple. I'm probably going to animate it with an empty. Take the empty, set it up, and then move it forward. We're going to be doing a lot of things. Like as I go through this process, you'll be seeing me do stuff like, for instance, using the interlay editor a little bit more in an advanced manner versus just plugging in some animations. So yeah. Okay, now let me come back over here. Click. All right. So that's set up. I'm going to drop that. I'm going to go ahead and push that down because I don't want that to lag me out. But yeah. All right, so that's another thing too that I think is a trip. That even though I set that up in the interlay, I'm gonna rename this to talking. And I'll even give it its number 4. All right, that's not what I wanted. All right, and then close all this. I don't need any of that open. All right, I think there's a trip because sometimes when you reset it, your stuff it'll move a little bit faster usually. But yeah, I want him to be talking. So right here is like from there to there. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and set that camera up. Her animation, by the time we get to her, so let's do that now. Let me do that now. So I'll go ahead and do location rotation. Let's make sure that's turned off. I don't want that. I'm gonna turn on auto keying, lift this up. This is cam 1 action. I think I want this to be cam 1 action 1. All right, so now it'll go from there to there. Let's see when this animation stops. He stops there. All right, so as his arm goes down, I'll rotate across. I'll come across, so it'll basically come to here. All right, and I don't want it to slowly start, so I'm gonna make it linear. Because right here is where you will see her animation. So what I'm thinking is push it out a little bit further, maybe to 250. So let me go get her animation. Excuse me. All right, turn this back on, click her. All right. I'm gonna push it down because I'm gonna use the interlay anyway. All right. Oh my goodness, I hate that it does that. That it did that little lag. All right. 140, 130. All right, and then go back to the interlay. Shift S4. All right. Turn it off because I don't want that to be the primary thing we see. It'll go out. All right, turn this off. Go. See, that's another thing too. Is okay, even though there, I kind of want her to do it a little bit sooner than that. Where he's talking, he's saying his thing. So let's say it around about what, 100. All right. Yeah, so they end almost at the same time. Go back to 1 or 0 rather. Because the thing is what I was thinking about is I wanted to keep going. Let's take it to 360. See what I get now. Because I feel like because there's lags there. So I want her to do something particularly too. So let me go look at the animations real quick. 'Cause I don't think I did one for her. I may need to do another one where she's kind of saying something in response to him. I don't know if I want this one or not. Let me append it anyway. I just want to check it to see how it works. So I'll hand it to her. Ooh, why does she move forward? I don't know if I like that. I'm just gonna push it down and then go. I'm going to add an interlay real quick. Just bear with me. I'm gonna add an interlay. Bear with me, because I don't want to have to keep going back and forward. All right. All right. So I think somewhere right about here. I don't know why it popped forward like that though. Like that is weird that she pushed forward like that. Excuse me. See right there. Why did she pop forward like that? Okay. I'll change it here because I don't need that happening. Let me go into animation. I do not understand why a lot of this stuff be wide open like this. All right. Okay, so for one, not sure which part of her made her go right there, but I don't like it. Let me close this real quick because I want to go back. And the point is to create is to put that there so we know exactly where it's supposed to be at. See, like even here, her finger shouldn't be that far in, and I know I changed all that. So. And she's looking down, so I need her to be looking up and him to be looking at her, but we'll deal with that here in a second. So it pops forward, right? So I'm pushing here. I just want that. Open that up. And I believe it should be Z. Nope, it's Y now because it's on the local. So I'm gonna slide it back so she's not moving beyond that point. And let's see what I get. Okay. So I want to transition into that. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna look at the frames. So I'm gonna click these two, and I'm gonna go to strip. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go to auto blend, and then here I'm gonna go to auto blend. All right. So it's showing 17 frames as a switch up. Okay, which is cool, but I don't want her hand to bleed through anything, so I want to make sure that her hand isn't bleeding through the wall. It isn't. Okay. So yeah. All right, that's cool. There we go. All right, so then I also need her to have an idle animation. So that means I also have to bring in an idle. It's probably going to be in front of this, so let's add another track. And then on the strip, I'll bring these two strips down. Oh, bring it back, take it back to 1. All right, let's select these two strips, GY, push it up. Sorry, push it up, and done there. Go back. All right, so now let me go and get the idle animation, which should be this one, I think. Yeah, it's just that one. It's that one. It's that one. So instead of doing what I did the last time, because I believe this animation is longer than the other two, so I'm gonna hit Shift A, and I'm going to bring in the idle animation. I'm sorry, I got to select the track, and I'm going to bring in an idle animation to that track specifically. This way, she starts there. Okay. So again, we see that track changed where she stood for some reason. So again, I'm going to do the same thing, and this one's longer than the other two, which I'm going to shorten it. Okay, so just bear with me, and I'll show you how I'll do that. So let me go back to the Z, slide it back. That's not now it's on the Y. Okay, so let me slide it back because I want her to still be in the same space she was in before. All right, so now how you will change this is in the actual NLA, we're going to select the track, and then I'm going to come down here to, I'm sorry, would it be track or clip? Strip. I'm sorry, we're going to go to strip where it says 250, and where this starts at, because I'm going to do blending on these two also. All right, let me stretch this out so I can see. Excuse me. So we know that it changes here. Okay, so when I go back, it's right there, and then it changes again. Okay, so at 103 it's going to change again, but I'm going to give it to 120. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to type in 120, and that track will shorten to there, and then I'm going to come over here and go auto blending. So now they're going to blend again. All right, and that doesn't mean that it's always going to work properly. You may have to go in and finesse it or change how it does it, but nonetheless, we're going to come back in here. I'm going to turn off the overlay, I'm sorry, and I'm going to play it. So they're talking and whatnot, and then as it's going by, because I know that it's going to continue to 360 because I set it to go to 360, I'm going to change that now. So I know like roughly, let me go here, I know like roughly right here she's doing certain things. I want him to acknowledge back, so I'm going to give him the same animation. Only difference is I'm going to create a second track for it. Okay, I mean a new action. All right, now I'm trying to think about what I need to do for the camera action. So roughly right about here, I want it to already be past them. So I'll say 170, 200, 200. Okay. So I'll click this and then we'll just bring that down. All right. Okay. So now when it happens, the car should already be passed by now. So I had the car pass, check time, 35 minutes. All right, cool. So I think I want the car to be passing by the time it gets right here. Okay. And then the lady will begin to walk by. The guy will still be standing there, but he's going to run off because of what's about to happen. So I think I'm going to have it happen in the street. I think. I could be wrong. I haven't really decided yet, but I think I'm going to have it happen in the street. All right, because I'm trying to think about what to do here. Right now, let's go 200. I'm just gonna bring the frames to 200. I want to do a play blast, so and I'm gonna use FFmpeg video, and let's go to the Kalita. And I know there are test renders, so we're gonna go to a test render. I don't know if I want to use this or not. I think I'm gonna give it a new thing, so I'm gonna go teaser 2022, hit accept. That's just for a test, and then I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna go 4:3. Well, no, I'll go 16:9 and then just do a test, because all I'm gonna do is hit F10. I just want to see its smoothness, so it's not going to take long, because it's not about trying to get a render with textures. Man, I just can't talk today. I'm sorry, y'all. But again, this is about having the animations pre-done, or even using motion capture. In this case, I did a little bit of both. There's motion capture and hand animation on both characters. So yeah, you know. All right, so look at the playback. The playback's going to be down here in this corner. I'm going to hit Control F11. Okay, so right there, you see where, well, he's saying what he's saying. I want her to do the acknowledgement before that. So let me come back up here. I'm going to select her. All right, and the only reason why I'm selecting her because I want to make sure. All right, so I know like roughly about here, he'll be saying what he's saying. I want her, once he throws his hand out, I want her to acknowledge. Okay, so that also means that I have to change the idle. I also feel like she's not facing him well, but I could be tripping. I'm going to turn it a little bit more. All right, let's save. Okay, so I don't really need to select. I don't know why I selected her. Let me go back to the camera. I'm gonna hit camera 1 and it'll come off of it. Okay, so all right, let's go to strip. Let me click that strip. Excuse me. I want to say, let's just do 80. Take it to 80. All right. Okay, so then that means these two have to come down. Oop, I don't want that there. Okay, I messed that up badly, didn't it? All right, so, okay. Okay, yeah, that fits. That was way better. That was way better. All right. So because overwrite is on, it's gonna overwrite that last one. Dot period. So if I go again, if I go into encoding, for some reason it automatically overwrites the last one if they have the same amount of frames. I thought I could change that. I have no clue how to. But yeah, let's see, post processing. Nope. So it's gonna do it anyway, and I don't know. Oh man, it went to 30 frames, 25 frames a second. I wanted it at 30 frames. Well, we're about to do a new one anyway, so we're gonna hit F10. All right. I don't want it at 25 frames. I want it at 30 frames. Almost there. So yeah, I want to drop this teaser. It's gonna be a lot because I have to do what's the it's gonna be a really big special effect, and I just know it's gonna take a second to do it. Well, I mean, I think it's more about the process of figuring out how I want it to look over the length of time to do it. The length of time to do it won't take that long, but how it's going to look will take a second. All right, again, right here in the corner, Control F11. Yeah, that's way smoother than the other one. Yeah, because reason why I want it like right there, and then it's gonna switch over because the thing should happen like right about here, right about. Let's see, go back a little bit. Right about here is when the thing gets ready to happen, and she's probably going to do the next. So then you'll see like this thing boom like right about here, but again you'll see the car go by, and then when it hits boom, I probably have the car fly up or something. I haven't decided yet. There's a lot of little bitty things that has to happen first, but yeah, I want the thing to start there, and then of course the camera's going to zip over there. So let's check the time. Let me turn this off, hit save, check the time. We have 41 minutes. I'm going to stop right there, guys, and I will come to you. I'll come back with another one here very, very soon. Nothing but love.